Hey friends, what's up? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. You guys know that I love discontinued fragrances that are hard to find nowadays, fragrances that have gone to Valhalla. Yeah, I love them. But one thing that sucks about discontinued fragrances is they are often crazy expensive and difficult to find. And to help remedy that, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about 10 different fragrances that you can still find today that are going to be great alternatives to discontinued, crazy expensive, sought after fragrances. As always, I will have these linked in the description below, so feel free to check them out down there. And also, if you find yourself shopping at twistedlily.com, axaroma.com, luckyscent.com, or So Avant Garde, here's some codes for you. Use those to save some money. So, a lot to talk about, a lot of fragrances here. Let's kick things off with Calvin Klein's CRAVE. Anybody out there remember this one? A very odd fragrance all the way around. I mean, look at the presentation on this. This is one of the most unique and just kind of weird presentations. You have a plastic bottle sitting inside of a plastic casing that you can see through, like a strange, I don't know, exoskeleton. And then you have on the side here the atomizer, or the atomizer pump anyway. And it doesn't work the greatest. Let's give it a try here. Yeah, awesome. Good job, Calvin Klein. You really crushed it with this presentation. And to top it all off, it doesn't really sit up very well. It falls over all the time. But Calvin Klein CRAVE is expensive. If you want a bottle of this stuff, it is gonna cost you a pretty penny. Back in the day, this was pretty affordable. Once this hit discounters, it didn't cost all that much, but those times are long gone. It has an interesting note breakdown, including starfish? Yeah, starfish, basil, bergamot, and of course, birch. Because you gotta throw birch into your tropical fragrance, right? Get a little smoky woods in there. Nice. But it does actually smell nice. It's a salty aquatic fragrance that has a unique flair to it. Let's say you want that or something close to it, because nothing that I'm going to talk to you about is an exact one-to-one. I mean, if you want a one-to-one, you got to buy the original, right? But if you want something close to that can scratch that CRAVE itch for you, you could get a fragrance from Jaguar that's going to cost you about 15 bucks. And it is Classic Motion. It has bergamot, mint, orris, and sea notes as some of the notes in the fragrance, along with a little mint, so a green touch there. That one is probably gonna be your best bet to get close to Calvin Klein CRAVE on the cheap. And to top it all off, the Jaguar has a better atomizer. Win-win. The next fragrance that we're gonna talk about is Midnight in Paris from Viktor and Rolf. And I have to say, I want a clone fragrance brand or line that just brings back the classics and does it in a way that's actually good. Because there are clone companies out there that specialize in doing discontinued fragrances, but the vast majority that I've smelled are terrible. Anyway, back to this. Midnight in Paris, leather, tonka, incense, and tea, some of the notes in the fragrance. This was another one that at discounters, especially toward the end of its lifespan, was crazy cheap. You could pick this up for under $20. And that was for both the Eau de Toilette and Eau de Parfum versions of the fragrance. And nowadays, again, very expensive, especially the Eau de Parfum version. For a while, your best bet to get an alternative to this on the cheap was going to be Bulgari Black. But then that got discontinued too. Yeah. So at this point, your best bet is Luna Rossa Black. Luna Rossa Black is going to get you into a similar style as Midnight in Paris. Maybe some people would say Luna Rossa Black is slightly more masculine than Midnight in Paris, but it's going to get you that similar kind of warm, almost powdery tonka. There's also amber, angelica, and bergamot in Luna Rossa Black, and I do think that Luna Rossa Black stands out quite a bit against all the other designer fragrances out nowadays, because the fragrances you could compare it to are discontinued. Does that bode well for the future of Luna Rossa Black? I couldn't tell you. The next discontinued scent is a huge favorite of mine. Very expensive on the secondary market. It is Gucci Envy for men. Just in case there's somebody out there who might get confused, Gucci Envy for men, because there are Gucci Envy fragrances for women. They don't come in the same bottle style, but just to be as clear as possible. Ginger, sandalwood, incense, vanilla, and tobacco, some of the notes in this one. It is just exquisite. Like, this is awesome. It has this great mix of classically masculine with a slightly more modern touch in the sense that it is more wearable than some of the more old school fragrances. It is not, I guess I have to say, it's not really a safe blind buy. I mean, when I smell it, I think it is. This is extremely versatile, easy to wear stuff. But when you're talking this price level, yeah, I wouldn't say blind buy. So what's a good alternative to that? Well, it used to be Carven Homme. Carven Homme was very affordable, smelled quite similar to Gucci Envy off the top anyway, and it got discontinued. I swear. There are actually a lot of fragrances that didn't make this list because the fragrances that I know smell similar to it that used to be readily available are gone now. So it's like, you know, can't really tell you, hey, this discontinued fragrance, get that discontinued fragrance because that one smells kind of like that one. Oh, they're both hard to find though, yeah. So anyway, it used to be Carven Homme, not anymore. Nowadays, Floris Santal. Cardamom, sandalwood, vanilla, lavender, some of the notes in that fragrance, and Floris Santal you can often find at discounters for a pretty good price actually, considering that it's a niche scent. So as of filming this video, I checked online and Max Aroma had it for like $68 for a 100 ml. To be fair, they only had a few left, but still, and FragranceNet had it for a little bit more than that, but still under $80. So that is an awesome alternative because you're getting niche quality plus something similar to Gucci Envy. Again, that's a win-win. Let's keep it Gucci with Gucci Pour Homme. Cedar, incense, papyrus, ginger, and leather. Some of the notes in this one right here. It's another fragrance that has been heralded ever since it got discontinued as like one of these perfect, classically masculine scents that just screamed sophistication and gave you great depth and body. Really good fragrance for fall and winter time. And this one is extremely easy for me to tell you what the alternative to it is. It is Bentley from In Absolute. That is 100% the fragrance I would tell you to get if you want something similar to Gucci Pour Homme. It's got a lot of similar notes. It's got papyrus in there, ginger, cedar, and incense. And oh yeah, it's the same perfumer. So yeah, Gucci Pour Homme, Bentley from In Absolute. There you go. The Bentley is gonna be way cheaper and way easier to find. After that, we've got one from D Squared. D Squared He Wood, Rocky Mountain Wood. These were interesting fragrances, interesting presentations. As you can see here, glass in the middle, and then a wooden kind of frame that it sits inside of there, which obviously works well with the whole wood aesthetic that's going on here, and then also makes it extremely uncomfortable to hold and spray. Essentially, you're just holding a block of wood here that does not conform to your hand whatsoever. Is extremely uncomfortable, but it looks like wood, so there you go. This is kind of an interesting line of fragrances because they had a whole line of fragrances from In based around wood, all of them with different wooden bottles for the most part. And then they discontinued them, the whole lot, all of them. D Squared said, get rid of those wood scents. That one had violet, cedar, vetiver, and pepper, some of the notes in the fragrance. And actually, a lot of those wood fragrances appealed to people that were looking for a fragrance that was based heavily around wood that carried a designer price tag. So D Squared killed them all off, but rest in peace, F's in the chat. And then what did they do? They came out with their new line of fragrances, which did things completely differently. Oh no, it's the exact same thing. They came out with more wood fragrances. Yep, just different bottle style and different scents. So I guess they were like, you know what? We got all these wood scents done, but it's just not hitting with the public. I know what we need, wood scents. But this time the cap is wooden and magnetic and the bottle is not wooden. It'll sell like hotcakes. So if you want to get similar to Rocky Mountain Wood, it's best to stick with just D Squared and go with 2 Wood that they came out with, which is supposed to be a unisex offering, but it will get you a little bit close to good old Rocky Mountain Wood. Lemon, cedar, vetiver, and cypress, some of the notes in that one. Much easier to find, much cheaper. Now I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, and on some of these next ones, I'll show you the replacement instead of the original. The next one up, the original, is Arpège Pour Homme. This is from Lanvin. Iris, vanilla, tonka, and pink pepper, some of the notes in the fragrance. And it's unfortunate that it got killed off when it did, because this is actually a great scent. Kind of an under the radar fragrance at this point, obviously. So with this one, obviously, Dior Homme Original, that's a replacement. Or if you want to go on the cheaper side, something like this, Futura La Homme, and this is from Armaf. Iris, coffee, vetiver, and leather, some of the notes in this scent. Yes, it is a clone fragrance, and yes, it's more of a clone Dior Homme, but this will get you close to that good old Arpège. Now this following fragrance, I love. I love this and the original version. It is from Giorgio Armani, and it is Attitude Extreme. Looks like a Zippo. Nice. Star anise, coffee, amber, and cardamom. Some of the notes in this scent. And I do have to tell you, unfortunately, I don't have a fragrance that is ultra similar to smelling like a one-to-one on this. But there is a fragrance that I have, a modern release, that will get you kind of in the same wheelhouse. This stuff, frankly, ahead of its time, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, love it. So the fragrance I would recommend to you, if you like that one, you want a modern fragrance that's gonna get you kind of in that zone, is from Givenchy, and it's Gentleman Reserve Privé. Irish whiskey, chestnut, woods, and amber. Some of the notes in that one. Of course, big hype beast. People love it. It's got that gentleman eau de parfum DNA, but with that added booziness and warmth put in there, which kind of smooths it out a little bit. It does make it a little bit more wearable also. So I'd say you like Attitude Extreme, check out Reserve Privé. Okay, the following discontinued fragrance is just crazy expensive. Crazy expensive, especially when you consider the brand and how much you could get this for previously. It is Tommy Bahama Men. Look this one up on eBay. It's the 2005 release. This one, I've seen it go for $500 for a bottle on eBay, which is just mind-melting because it's a Tommy Bahama. What? Like, I know that most of you out there are like me. When you see a Tommy Bahama, you don't necessarily think it's bad. I actually think a lot of them are very good for summertime. Have you smelling pretty nice on a budget. But holy crap, $500. Like most people, when you see Tommy Bahama, as I was saying, you think like 25 bucks at a discounter, 30 bucks, something like that. If you want to go on the high end, you're splurging, you're a high roller, you went to the casino and you lost money, and then you lost more money, but then you won a little bit of money and you're gonna spend it, you're gonna splurge. Maybe you spend 40 bucks on the Tommy Bahama, but nobody in their right mind is spending $500 on the Tommy Bahama, except for Mark Zuckerberg or something. Just like, you know, he thinks it makes him a human. He gets the Tommy Bahama, sprays it on. I have a fragrance. Okay, I don't know. We're just off the rails. Something like Tommy Bahama Men from 2005 is way cheaper, much easier to find. Black Walnut from Banana Republic. Cognac, tobacco, and cedar, the notes for Black Walnut. And maybe you've not heard about this one for a while, especially if you're just getting into fragrances, just getting started, learning about them. Black Walnut maybe doesn't mean anything to you, but this was a bit of a hype beast for a while because it is very inexpensive, and people were surprised when this came out. They were like, oh, it's good quality from a Banana Republic? Like, it's way better than it should be. The drawback to Black Walnut has always been the performance is not that great. It doesn't project heavily, so you really gotta layer this stuff on thick. But I don't know about you, I would much rather spend 25 bucks or less on Black Walnut than $500 on Tommy Bahama. No offense to you, Tommy. The next discontinued fragrance that we're gonna do a replacement for is Valentino V. It's like what Vanilla Ice used to do. I just dated myself. Oh no. Pink pepper, vanilla, sandalwood, and tamarind. Some of the notes in Valentino V. Really nice fragrance, good versatility, good compliment factor. And Valentino V is one of the more celebrated, discontinued Valentino scents. So if you want a replacement to that, just get the clone. Rasasi, Darige, vanilla, tonka, amber, and cumin. Some of the notes in this one. And yeah, that's what this is. It's a clone fragrance. So most of these, I haven't presented a clone other than the Yarmoth. I've presented something else from another brand that's gonna get you similar, get you close. But with this one, just go with the clone. Easy to find, not too terribly expensive, and it's gonna get you really close to the Valentino. All right, the last fragrance is from Escada, and Escada nowadays only known for their women's fragrances, but there was a time that Escada had a good amount of men's fragrances, and some of those are extremely sought after. Escada Magnetism, which I think is still great, and frankly just smells like its own thing, like still to this day, I think Escada Magnetism stands alone. Escada Pour Homme, great classic masculine scent. And this one, Escada Pour Homme Casual Friday. I low-key love everything about this fragrance. I love the little label with the grass, the water, or the sky. Just outdoor colors, man. What do you want from me? It's got this great, kind of slightly powdery, fresh, clean, creamy, somewhat sweet lavender and carnation combo. You got vanilla in there underneath that works in great. Little patchouli as well. It's a casual Friday fragrance. It's classy, but at the same time, a little laid back. And also freaking expensive. You want a replacement for that one? Mauboussin Homme. That you can get at discounters for 30 bucks or less. It's got that lavender and vanilla working together, has sandalwood as well, a little bit of cinnamon also. And for a replacement for Casual Friday, that would be the first thing that I would check out. You know, it's gonna be 10% of the cost of the Escada at this point, and it's gonna be pretty close. You know, it's gonna get you that similar kind of feel. So there we go. 10 alternatives to discontinued, very expensive fragrances. Just wait, guys. Just you wait. I'm gonna head up a clone house, and the mission is gonna be bring back the discontinued fragrances. Oh, you're not gonna give me M7? You're not gonna give me Gucci Envy? Then I'll do it myself. I'll do it myself. Thank you all for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.